Happy Saturday, guys. In today's video, I'd like to cover the latest updates with what we're seeing in the Bitcoin market as well as Wall Street. We'll cover my overall assessment with what we're seeing with all of the dynamics going on with push and pull mechanisms, as well as talk about the overall technical analysis of Bitcoin and MicroStrategy. I would encourage you watching through the entire video so that you can see what my price predictions are for Bitcoin and MicroStrategy, as well as me playing a video clip of Michael Saylor and his overall conviction with Bitcoin price expected to reach levels we have never seen before. So if you're new to this channel, first off, thanks for stopping by. I would really appreciate hitting a like, subscribing for more related content. Let's get started. Today is Satoshi's birthday, so just wanted to start this off with saying happy birthday, Satoshi. With you creating Bitcoin, we would not be here today if it wasn't for you. So just wanted to give thanks to you and a wishful happy birthday. Anthony Pompliano posts today that in 2020, the government locked people in their homes for weeks. This was during COVID, right? Shut down businesses and stopped the velocity of money, the flow of money. People were afraid to spend money, and that resulted in people spending less. Velocity slowed down significantly. It started in March of that year, and the stock market was back to all-time highs by the end of the year. The same will happen with stocks post tariffs this year. So, very similar thing that we're seeing back in 2020 stock market. The government had to pull the lever to stop the amount of bleeding that was going on with the intraday Wall Street. We may very well see the same thing where we're seeing short-term pain and then we're just going to see that bounce back up. All of this is, to me, I think, really going to help. In fact, I think Federal Reserve, the ball is on their court now to start, cutting the FFR, federal funds rate, coming very soon here. So I think once the Jerome Powell pulls down that lever, we may very well start seeing the printer start printing more money, stimulate the economy. People will become more confident borrowing, taking loans from banks to use that for their business and to invest. So I think at one point, these big time stocks are just going to continue going up here, and this is just a short term scare. We're looking at a visual here which shows us the critical geopolitical events for what we saw with the S&P 500, gold, and Bitcoin. Here we see 10-day return and 60-day return. So what happened with these events here during the last 4 or 5 years during the US Iran escalation? Bitcoin hovered up so much, 12% gain, not so much with S&P. During that COVID outbreak, everything dropped down right on that 10-day return. But what happened? We saw Bitcoin just running up. US election challenges. What happened? It doesn't matter who wins, Bitcoin will just continue going up. And what happened 60 days after that? Bitcoin ran up. Russia invasion of Ukraine. Yes, we saw Bitcoin underperforming here, but what happened 60 days later? Bitcoin outperformed. There was also the regional banking crisis with certain banks going out of business. And what happened? Bitcoin ramped up here. Along with 60-day return, we see Bitcoin dominating. So I think what we're seeing here is consistent performance. Bitcoin is the ultimate hedge, especially during these geopolitical events. And what we typically see is 90 days out from these events, we see big time run-ups with Bitcoin. And we may very well see that again here. Bitcoin Therapist posts that 444,000 is the target of Bitcoin. I mean, truly, there is no target for Bitcoin. It's a frequency, a rhythm, a paradigm shift that frees you from all this chaos. For example, with tariffs, we heard from Michael Saylor, Bitcoin, there's no tariffs at all. Vivek posts here, President Trump's admin openly said the USA will be buying as much Bitcoin as possible. Supply shock is coming. Obviously, we continue to hear that from Senator Cynthia Lummis with the Bitcoin Reserve Act of 2025, where the United States will implement a neutral strategy that will cost zero tax dollars, where the United States will buy up to 1 million Bitcoins in the next 4 years. How that will happen, it may very well be by converting the gold certificates that are in our gold reserve in our federal banks, use that, realize the gains, use that, and buy Bitcoin with it. It's really going to be a race right now with Bitcoin. Which country has the most Bitcoin? Ragnar has an interesting post here, which is data from Cross Border Cap, but he's posting a question: when will Bitcoin and MSTR blast off? M2 global supply is just one part of the story. This is one of the relevant chart in his opinion. We should blast off any week now. So we do see high degree of correlation here with the Bitcoin price in orange and M2 money supply. So with M2 money supply going up, Bitcoin tends to lag behind by about 8 weeks. So we may start seeing Bitcoin just shoot back up. Yes, we saw Bitcoin go from like 109 all-time high to like down to 70,000. We're going to see a bounce back up. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when Bitcoin's just going to shoot up again. And we've seen correlation across these many years, 10 years of data. The orange line will always shoot back up. Strategy has a new post that comes out here that they will be partnering with a platinum sponsor that is with Google Cloud. We know Google Cloud has Gemini 2.5, and there's going to be an upcoming event in May here with Mindset and AI starting May 7th. This is just big time news. Strategy holds the most amount of Bitcoin. They're adopting artificial intelligence and partnering with the big Mag 7 here. This is really a stepping stone towards becoming a Mag 8 company here with strategy. In fact, strategy will be one of the biggest companies at one point as Bitcoin dominates as the biggest asset in this world. It's coming. It's not a matter of if, but it's when. Let's take a look at technical analysis of Bitcoin. So obviously we see relative strength during that election news. Relative strength shot up to 80,000 when Bitcoin, it shot up to new all-time heights, getting into that 90,000, and then it started consolidating for several months up through January, where it reached all-time high of 109,000. What we're seeing now is just that consolidation. It's been just hovering in this bull flag here. This is a good sign here. I mean, things can't just shoot up all the time and stay, in one consistent linear line here. I think this is healthy consolidation, retracement here, similar to what we saw in 2024 for like 8 months of consolidation. And what happened? We saw this big bull breakout here. That's what we typically see for a 3-year bull cycle. 2025 is a bull cycle, especially with Q1 showing underperformance. We're just going to see it prime up, and we may very well have a late phase breakout in the year 2025. But I think Q2 here, we may very well just continue to see this hovering here. And at one point, we're going to see Bitcoin, just break itself from what's happening with Wall Street. I think we're seeing that offset going on, even though Wall Street has been underperforming after the Trump tariff news. The last 2 days of trading, Bitcoin has been holding up very well here. It's been consistent. However, that's minimal data points. We have to have this information confirmed. So it'll be interesting how Bitcoin holds up in the next week. Obviously, we see Bitcoin holding up very well around that 82,000. Yes, it dropped from 84, 82,000 during Friday to Saturday here, but it'll be interesting to see how well Bitcoin can hold up at this support line of 82,000 heading into next week here. But we may very well see Bitcoin off to the races here as investors do see the value of Bitcoin being the safe haven during this big uncertainty going on here. We may very well see Bitcoin reach its all-time high in the month of April, May coming here. Let's take a look at MicroStrategy here. So very similar performance with Bitcoin. Obviously, we see that run up of 550. One of the key things is we saw MicroStrategy end the day on Friday with the 4% gain, even though there was volatility. At one point, it was down by 5%. So definitely market participants, more money inflows, people with paychecks on Fridays getting paid out, putting money into MicroStrategy and crypto here. I think this is definitely a great opportunity here. Investors even also took advantage of buying Mag 7 companies. Trillions of dollars was added in. But when you look at the market participant pricing here, what we saw previously was 340 prior resistance being met during that March timeframe. So as soon as market participants push up the price where we see consistent hovering into that prior resistance where it becomes a new support, that's going to be a healthy consolidation where we're going to start seeing the price start trending up, where we see this consolidation of a U-shaped pattern. And as we think about May timeframe, we also have Q1 FASB earnings report coming out, where earnings will flip to where losses flip to earnings, as well as the event in May, Expo with Google as our partner. Think about that April, May timeframe. We have Google partnering up with MicroStrategy. That's only going to add more credibility to this company when it comes to AI and Bitcoin. Even Trump is advocating for the United States to be the powerhouse of crypto and AI. I mean, having Bitcoin that covers that aspect of crypto, AI, MicroStrategy is tapping into that area as well. So that's definitely a win-win situation. And shareholders, especially long-term shareholders, are going to have big time wins here. That's why I'm not missing the boat here. I took advantage, continuing the dollar cost average as well, because I believe in MicroStrategy with their business model, as well as Michael Saylor being able to clearly articulate a beautiful story, taking risks, and really changing how we look at traditional finance. With that, I want to play a video clip of Michael Saylor with Bitcoin going to $50 million. Dollars of capital are flowing into the network. It's going to go from 2 billion to 20 billion to 200 billion to 2 trillion to 20 trillion to 200 trillion. And when it gets to 200 trillion, it'll chomp along at plus 20% to eventually 300, 400, 500 trillion dollars. And where is that capital going to come from? It's going to come from Russian real estate. It's going to come from Chinese private equity. It's going to come from everything in Africa, everything in South America. You have capital flowing from foreign financial and physical assets to Bitcoin. You have capital flowing from 20th century assets to Bitcoin. So the capital is going to flow from the 20th century to the 21st century. It's going to flow from physical to digital. It's going to flow from currency-based derivatives to a digital commodity derivative. So it's already happening. It's unstoppable. It's literally like, for me to say Bitcoin's going to demonetize gold understates it. Yeah, it's going to demonetize gold. Then it's going to demonetize the real estate that's 10x more than gold. Then it's going to demonetize every long-term store of value. So what you have is a situation like the Europeans show up and they give like some Dutch guilders or some pieces of paper or some glass beads or seashells or stone coins to people using a more primitive form of money. And we have the opportunity to, in essence, just grab 10, 20, 25% of the network, let the entire dynamic flow, and it's going to accelerate. And when the dust settles, the American people will own 25, 30% of that capital, which right now is sitting in 20th century. There you have it. I hope you enjoyed another episode of MicroStrategy and Bitcoin here. Let me know what your thoughts are, where you're watching from. I appreciate you stopping by. I read through every comments. Let me know what you think the Bitcoin price is going to be next week, as well as MicroStrategy and how long you're going to be holding. Thanks, guys. You all have a beautiful weekend.